Hi guys, in today's video I'm going to take you through the remainder of my eyeshadow palette collection. I've already filmed videos on my Urban Decay, Kat Von D and my Indie eyeshadow palettes. I'll link all those in the description box below if you want to check those out. But this is going to be the remainder of my palettes that I have, and some single shadows as well. I've got some Jeffree Star, Too Faced, Anastasia, Sigma, Inglot, and a bunch of other brands as well, where I've only got maybe 1 or 2 palettes from the brand. I'm going to start with my Too Faced palettes. I've got 3 of the metal tin palettes. This is the Chocolate Bonbons, which is the first palette I bought from the brand. I do love this one because it's cool toned, and I don't have that many cool toned eyeshadow palettes, so this one I do use quite a lot still, even though it's probably about 3 years old, I think. I love the shade Satin Sheets, this one here, as a brow bone highlight and also as a highlighter. It's super pretty, like a pinky gold shift to it. Really good quality in this palette, absolutely love it. Love the metal tin packaging as well. You always know if you get a metal tinned palette from Too Faced that the quality is going to be good, I think. But that one's the Chocolate Bonbons. Then I've got the Sweet Peach palette. This one, honestly, the smell puts me off of using it. I know a lot of people like the smell from these, but it's really intensely peach smell even now, and I've probably had it 2 years or maybe 3 years. I really wanted this palette. There was so much hype over this palette when it first came out, and I really wanted it. But now, honestly, I don't use it that much. I got it as a birthday gift from my husband, and I've maybe used it 2 or 3 times, so I hope he never gets to watch this, else he'll probably be mad at me. But honestly, the colours just aren't that vivid on the eyes. There's not much difference between each of the shades. So for me, the only colours I really like are Summer Yum, which is the orangey brown shade, and just Peachy. I can make a look with those two, but the rest are all too similar in my eyes, and great if you're a neutral lover, but to me it's just not colourful enough for my taste right now. But I still keep it in my collection. I don't declutter anything, to be honest, so I've still got it, and I will reach into it for that Just Peachy shade, which is gorgeous. So that's the Sweet Peach palette. And then we come to the Gingerbread Spice palette, which was limited edition for Christmas 2018. Absolutely love this palette. They did a grand job on this one. This one's metal tin packaging again, which I don't normally bring out as part of their holiday releases, and the holiday release palettes are normally not that great, but this one's probably the best quality one that I own from Too Faced. The shades inside are beautiful. There's one shade, Frostbite Me, which is this one, which is absolute garbage. I can't make that one work on my eyes at all. It like just flakes off. If anyone out there knows how to make that one work, please let me know, because I've tried everything. I've tried glitter glue, setting spray. It just falls off my eyes, but every other shade in this palette is fire. It's just brilliant. Hot Toddy, this shade here, is my absolute favourite. It's just gorgeous on the eyes. Spice of Life is lovely, warm and toasty. They're all great, to be honest. You can make so many different looks with this one. If you're into sort of warm tones, but you want a bit of foil and sparkle on the eyes as well. So perfect palette for Christmas, but for all year round, really. Absolutely love this one. So that's the Gingerbread Spice. And then this is the last of my Too Faced palettes. I don't have many from the brand, but this one was their celebration palette for being a brand for 20 years. So it's the Then and Now palette. And there are the shades inside it. It is a massive palette. I'm struggling to get it all into frame for you there. But the top row, it's got their old logo, and it says circa 1998. And then the bottom row, it's got the new logo, circa 2018. So this came out last year. The idea being that they've uprated the formula in the bottom row, but the colours are similar. And that put me off to start with. But then when I got it, I've realised that the colours are all different. Like where you've got a shimmer in the top row, you've got a matte in the bottom row. You've got some pressed glitters, like Glitter Donut, and Shady Bitch, which is the purple, and Chill Out, which is the blue on the bottom row. They're all really glittery, whereas there aren't really any glitters in the top row. So the finishes are all different. So you're getting quite a lot for your money in this one. I think it was about £56, I think, in the UK. Was limited edition. I don't think it's available anymore, and of course as a palette collector that's why I wanted it more than the performance of the shadows, but I'm actually pleasantly surprised. They are really good. So that one's the Then and Now palette by Too Faced. And then talking of special edition palettes, I've got this palette from Pure Cosmetics, which was the Grinch Good Enough to Steal palette. Came out holiday season 2018 as a tie-in with the Illumination version of Dr. Seuss's The Grinch, the cartoon version. The packaging is amazing on this one, so it pops up inside, and then if I can show you the inside, that's the palette on the inside. It comes right out of the packaging, and you've got a couple of pressed glitters, you've got a highlighter and a blush. The blush is gorgeous actually, I really love that. And then the lipstick in the middle is like a lip balm. It's green but it changes to pink based on the chemistry of your lips, so everybody gets a different colour, but it is a mid-toned pink on me. It looks quite pretty actually. So I've not used this that much because I think it's more of a collector's piece than anything else, but the shadows do perform really well. Pure shadows are really good. It's just quite bulky to store. I tend to put it away to sort of, you know, be able to store it easily, and I've got other palettes on top, but it is really special the way that they put the packaging together, and that's why I wanted it. And I love the film The Grinch. I've loved it since the original came out, so as soon as I knew this was coming out, just had to have it. On Pure I've got both of their vanity palettes. So this is the first one. This one's called the Dream Chaser, and that's the shades inside. It's very neutral, but if I can open it and show you, you can pop it up. Oh, there's a picture of me in the mirror there. But you can pop it up like a vanity mirror, so when you take it away you've got a proper mirror to do your makeup by, which I thought was super cool. I saw Samantha March raving about these about 2 years ago when I first started following her channel. Absolutely love her. Anything she recommends, I'm straight on it, and she said how good Pure were and that she'd been using them for years, and I have to agree, the formula is amazing. Obviously this is a really neutral palette, but sometimes if I'm away that's all I want, just something super easy, just to, you know, to bang on my eyes quickly in 5 minutes because I've got to be somewhere. So this one's perfect for that. So I've got that one. I've also got this one as well, which is a bit more reflective. You can see my reflection in the mirror of that one. So that's the shades in that one, so a lot darker shades in that one. That bronzer in the middle is too dark for me. I could wear it as an eyeshadow, but I wouldn't be able to wear it as a bronzer. But the highlight and blusher are nice, and you've got a bit darker tones for eyeshadow. So from an eyeshadow perspective, this one's better, but I like the face products in the other one better. I kind of needed one between the two really, but that doesn't exist. I've got both of the ones that they've made. But this one is the Gold Digger. So that's my 2 vanity palettes from Pure. Then I've got 6 of the Anastasia palettes, the Modern Renaissance being the first one that I bought. Sure you all know what that one looks like inside. Probably the most hyped eyeshadow palette ever, I think, for warm toned eyeshadow lovers, and it is as good as its reputation suggests. I love the colours, Venetian Red, Love Letter, and then the shimmer shade there, Vermeer. They're my 3 favourites. I've got a big dent in Vermeer. I probably will hit pan on that one at some point because I do really love that shade. And that's the Modern Renaissance. Then I do have the infamous Subculture palette that nearly broke the internet. I love the formula of this. I don't have any problem with it. I think it was good to know that the formula is not very hard pressed before you bought it, because I bought it knowing that. I'd watched a lot of reviews beforehand. You have to dip in with a very light hand on this one, which isn't a problem for me because that's what I do. But the shades are gorgeous inside, and I think there's been so many dupes of this, and it's sparked a sort of autumnal colour scheme and got people to start thinking outside the box in terms of their colours in their palettes. So quite a revolutionary palette for Anastasia to have brought out. I absolutely love this one. The shade Electric packed over the shades Untamed and Axis makes an absolutely beautiful combination, and I love the shade All Star as a crease shade as well. So one of my favourites in my collection, that one. That's the Subculture. Then I've got the Prism palette, which was the Christmas release from 2017. I think it is still available, but it was limited edition. That's the colours inside that one. A lot more shimmer shades in that one. The shades Ethereal and Throne are gorgeous in that one, and Dimension, and that's what I reach into it for. And the bright neon shade Sphere is cool as well. Really good palette actually. I think a lot of people struggle with what to do with it because the colours are a bit random and jumbled, I suppose, but I reach into that one and just pair it with other palettes from Anastasia, and it works really well for me. So that's the Prism palette. I've also got the Soft Glam. Very neutral. Didn't think I wanted this to start with, and it's like every other Anastasia palette. I start off thinking I don't need it, and then I watch a few more reviews, and then I see it in a store, or I see a review from someone I really trust using it, and I see the looks that they create, and then I'm like, no, I need that palette. And this is what happened with this one. But honestly, it's probably one of my favourites in my collection now. I love the shade Mulberry and the shades Sultry and Bronze, and they make an amazing combination together. There's a lot of neutrals I could do without, like Orange Soda, Burnt Orange, Rustic, etc. But they still make a really nice combination on the eyes, so I really do love this one. And the formula of this one is amazing. I think they listen to the issues with the subculture, so it's a bit more firmly pressed, but it's still super pigmented. One dip of your brush, you'll have your brush coated, and the colours are really vivid and true on the eyes to what they are in the pan, which I love about Anastasia. Love the brushes that you get in there as well. I always keep the brushes with the palette, but I always use them. The smaller side of the brush makes a great lower lash line brush, and then you've got the blending sort of crease shade side as well, so really good quality brushes, which are a bonus. And that's the Soft Glam. Then I picked up the Norvina palette. This one's unique in layout, although I think they've started to become this way now, but this is the first time it was done this way, where you've got all your shimmer shades on the top row and your mattes on the bottom. I bought this for the colour Soul because I hadn't got anything like that periwinkle blue shade in my collection, and I do love that one, but the shimmers are the star of the show. They're super foiled, you don't need a setting spray or glitter glue. They'll apply with a brush and look super vivid. Amazing formula for those. So to me, even if they're neutrals, they're still worth picking up just because the quality is so good. I'm just a little bit obsessed with Anastasia shadows, so I'm collecting every palette now. There's just something about them. So that's the Norvina. And then we've got the Sultry. Look at that packaging, amazing. And it's the sort of packaging that the glitter doesn't come off. And quite honestly, I think this is my favourite now. And to begin with, I didn't think I needed this one either, because it's very neutral, but it's cool tone neutrals, which I really appreciate. And I love the shade Bloom in the palette, but the star of the show is that silver Cyborg. It's probably the best silver in my collection, and that paired with Bloom and then a bit of Noir is my go-to out of this palette. Don't so much veer towards the left hand side and the neutrals there, but again the shimmer shades are super pretty, and I could bring them in with more colourful palettes. So really enjoy this one. That's the Sultry. I've also got the Riviera palette on order. Ordered that yesterday on its release day, so that'll be here probably in about a week. I think it takes for them to come from the UK site for Anastasia. And I've got all of the Jeffree Star Cosmetics eyeshadow palettes to date, and quite a lot of his other products as well. But I really love Jeffree Star's brand. Amazing quality, and look at that, just the colours speak to my heart. I love Star Power, Confession, Violence, Expensive. The only shade that I can't make work in this palette is Rich Bitch. It got hard pan the first time I used it. I keep removing the hard pan, it keeps coming back, which I'm super sad about because I've seen other people being able to use that and make a really nice look. So I think it was hit and miss in the formula of that one. But Courtney is great as a contour shade. I've used it for that. And Black Rainbow is a glittery black, and you can still see the glitter when it's on the eyes, which you don't normally find. China White's a great brow bone shade, or a shade to set your lids, and you can use Princess as a highlighter because it's the same as his Princess Cut highlight. So the Skin Frost that he does. So this is my first one from the brand, the first one he brought out. I bought them in the order that they came out, because once I got this one, as soon as he releases the next one, doesn't matter what it is, I'm getting it. But that's the Beauty Killer. Then I've got the Androgyny, which is his idea of a neutral palette, and mine too, I suppose. I do love the colours in here. I wouldn't necessarily call Poison and Swallow neutrals. I've heard people say they don't like those and they can't work with them, but I find them fine. I have to go in with a fairly light hand so I don't get fallout, but other than that they're fine. My favourites in this palette are the shade Frosting for an inner corner highlight or sort of inner part of the lid, and the shade Fetish because I love a red shade, and this one is a really good red shade for like a red smoky eye. That's what I do with that, and then put Charm in the crease to blend that out, and that looks amazing. So I love that one. It's the Androgyny. And then I've got the Blood Sugar palette, which I'm sure everybody's heard of. His most famous palette. It sells out in seconds as soon as he restocks it. I pre-ordered this one as soon as I heard it was coming out, so I got it in the very first release because I didn't want to miss out on it. And it's a red and purple eyeshadow lover's dream. It's absolutely gorgeous. You can make amazing looks with this. I tend to use the bottom row the most, all the red shades, but it's versatile because you've got your neutral shades if you need them as well. So absolutely love it, and the formula is such a step up from the other two. It's incredible. Love the packaging too. It's bulky, but I don't mind it because it's just so unusual. It's like a sort of medical case with clasps on the front. So that's the Blood Sugar. And I picked up the Thirsty palette, which was the summer release for 2018. And that's the shades inside that one. The standouts in that one are the shade Bitch at the top, which is super neon on the eyes. I really like that. Disappointed with the yellow Quench. It doesn't look as vivid as it does there. I think Buttercup Cake from Sugar Pill will still be my all-time #1 yellow shadow. Can't see anything topping that one if I'm honest. But the blue shades are nice. But the stars of the show are the middle row for me. They're a really different formula, like nothing else I own, like a sparkly foil shade. You need glitter glue to keep them vivid and to keep them on the eyes all day, but if you use that, like for example use Bitch all over the lids and then top it off in the centre with the shade Filthy Rich, that's one of my go-tos to do from this. But all of that middle row are gorgeous. Really pleased I picked that one up. It's a great summer palette. So that's the Thirsty. And then I've got the Alien palette with its amazing packaging. I have to keep this one in the box because the eyes are raised and it's a pain to store, but I love that he tries something new and exciting with everything about his products, not just the formula but how they're, the whole concept, the packaging. It's just amazing what he does with it. I like this because you can fold the whole thing back. I really do appreciate that in a palette. And that's the shades inside that one. So cool tones, purples and greens. Hands down my favourite of his palettes if I'm honest. I need to use this a lot more. I've not had it that long. Probably 3 months or whenever it came out. I got it pretty much when it came out. So I need to use it more. I've not even used the purple shade yet. So what am I doing? I've used all the green shades. I've used the neutrals in it. But I haven't really gravitated more towards the darker shades at the bottom. So I really need to use this more. And I definitely plan to do that soon. That one's the Alien palette by Jeffree Star. And then I'll show you my Morphe palettes. I've got 4 Morphe palettes. Didn't really want any of them to start with because I don't like having too many similar colours in a palette. But I got the first one, this one, free from Beauty Bay when they stopped stocking the brand. This is the 35O, which when warm tone shadows were really popular, this one was selling like hotcakes from them. And I do like it. There's just too many taupes and browns that look exactly the same on the eyes. I think you could make this into an amazing £12 or £9 palette and it'd be great. The formula's a lot better on the shimmers, well, and the mattes really, than I expected. Totally different to Anastasia. You've got to work the product in to really get it to build up. But as long as you know that, and for the price, I'm quite impressed with how good they are. That one's the 35O. And I've got the 35F Fall Into Frost palette. This is all frosted shades apart from the bottom row, which are mattes. And that's why I wanted it, because there's a lot of golds and cranberry sort of shades, and it was on special offer for £15. What's not to love? I got that and a couple of brushes, used a coupon code, so I got this and 2 brushes, and I think I paid £20. So that's why I got it, just to expand some of the shades that I got in the sort of cranberry and gold, so that I could use those for Christmas looks. And I'm not disappointed for what I wanted it for. But that's 35F Fall Into Frost. Then we're moving into the ones I really do love. So this one is the 35M Boss Mood palette. Now this is how to make a palette. If you're going to make 35 colours, make them colourful, make them different, and this is what this is. And I love the greens. I'm not sure if the camera's picking them up as true to tone as they are, but the green shades are gorgeous, like army greens, mossy greens in there. I love the purples and the cranberry shades as well. Could probably do without the neutrals as I've got them elsewhere, but again, for the price, you can't complain about having a few shades that perhaps you don't use, as long as the ones that you do use are good. And I do get on really well with this palette and always enjoy the looks I get out of it. So that one's the 35M Boss Mood. And then I've got the 39A Dare to Create palette, and this is my favourite from the brand. This is what made me excited to buy from Morphe. I'd love to get the James Charles palette. It always seems to be sold out whenever I go to get it, but this one's in the same format in terms of having bigger transition shades in the middle, or the shades you're likely to use more often, and then smaller pans of the shades that you're maybe not so much going to use. For me, I won't use the shades in the middle at all, more than likely, but I do love the bottom left hand corner, all the blues and the greens out of this one, and the formula's much better in this one than it is in their normal £35 palettes. Really good quality, creamy mattes, foiled shimmers, really good. And it's got a navy blue in there, which I want more navies in my collection, because when that one runs out, I don't want to have to buy another 39A. So if anybody can recommend a good navy shadow to me as a single, I'd love to pick that up. I don't think they do that as a single for Morphe, and I'd love to get some more navy or deeper blues for my collection. But that's the 39A Dare to Create. Now I'm going to show you some palettes from brands that I've only got a couple of palettes from each. So Sigma, I've got the Creme de Couture palette. It was a limited edition palette, and then they brought it back because it had been popular. I think it's gone again now. I wanted it because of having pastel shades in it. I've also got other pastels now. I've got the Jeffree Cosmetics Creepy Cute, and I've got the Kat Von D Pastel Goth as well. But this one is really good. The purples, you can see them showing up so vivid just in the picture there. The one Cassis there is gorgeous, so that's what I reach into this palette for, is to grab that shade. But they're small pans and I really don't mind that. They're not the sort of shades I'm going to use every day of the week, so it's going to last me forever anyway, and it's a nice small compact size, nice packaging. So that's the Creme de Couture from Sigma. And I also picked up the Viper palette. This came out probably Q3 of last year, so 2018. I love this palette. I've used this probably more than most palettes that I own, if I'm honest. I love the green and the blue as a combination together. The shimmers are really different, like the pinky white shade there, Beguile. It's got such a beautiful greeny pink kind of duochrome shift in the white. It's just stunning. And then you've got your neutral shades as well, so there's a lot you can do with this palette for only having 6 shades. So it's an awesome palette. Really glad I picked this one up. And that's the Viper palette by Sigma. I've only got one palette from Makeup Geek. I've got a lot of singles as well, which I won't show you in this video, but I've got the Manny MUA collaboration, which is the first thing I bought from Makeup Geek, and I love the shade Mars, the red shade. You can see quite a significant dent in the shimmers as well there in the bottom left hand corner and top right hand corner. There's a lot of neutrals in this one, but they all perform really well, but I wanted it for that red shade and I'm not disappointed. It is gorgeous. Lovely packaging as well. And that's the Makeup Geek Mani MUA collaboration. And I've got 2 palettes from NARS. This one's the Wanted palette. It's got amazing shimmers in this one. That's the strong point for this palette. Looks really neutral, but the shimmers on the eyes are sparkly, foiled, just gorgeous. And they're a different formula to anything else I've got in my collection. But I love how small it is. Great for everyday looks, but you want a little bit of a twist to them. Super nice packaging as well. I got the blush and highlight palette that came out at the same time as this as well. That's the Wanted palette. And then at holiday this previous year, 2018, I picked up the Provocateur palette, which is this one. And this is my shades in an eyeshadow palette. Literally love it. The red, the purple, just to make a smoky, gothy kind of look with lots of black eyeliner. Absolutely love this. I picked up the 2 dark shade of lipsticks that they did, Nancy and Susie as well. One of them's black and one of them's like a black and red. And they both look gorgeous with this palette. That's the Provocateur, which was limited edition. And then the last that I've got to show you are really singles, but you can make them into magnetic palettes. So I've got 3 palettes to show you. So I made up a green and blue. It's got a strong magnet, I can't get it off. So I made up a green and blue one there. I've got a reddish one with some pink shimmers and a white in there. And I've got this one with a yellow. This is a good yellow as well, actually. I said about Buttercup Cake from Sugar Pill, but this one rivals it. This is a really good yellow. And the red's super vivid as well. This was the first one I made up. I bought the shades at a beauty event. And that's what sold me on the brand, because I'd seen them, other people using them in videos, but I'd never swatched them or seen them real. And then when I saw them at this beauty event, I was like, oh no, I need some more of these. And there's an Inglot store in London, and that's where I picked up the others. But they're my Inglot shadows. Okay, so that concludes my eyeshadow palette collection. I hope you will check out my previous palettes if you've enjoyed watching this video. As I say, they're all linked below in the description box. I'm going to be moving on to doing other things. So I'm going to show you my haul for February and my birthday haul. I'm also going to be doing a first impressions video on some new palettes that I've only recently got as well. So if you'd like to see those, then please comment down below. Comment down below as well what else you'd like to see on my channel. I'm up for suggestions because this is a new channel and I want to make it interesting for you guys and what you want to see. But thank you so much for watching this video. If you like the video, please hit the like button. Consider subscribing before you go. Otherwise, have a great day guys, and I'll see you soon. Bye.